will fill your homes with good health, joy, love, laughter, and so much love.
Thank you, Rabbi Samuels. Fox is also partnering with Samaritan's Purse this holiday season.
Oh,
Good.
they bring
So
hope to
welcome to
children
David's
around the world
World
through
of
Operation Christmas
Ministries,
Child, sending
and
shoe boxes packed with toys and other fun items.
Fox employees have filled over 400 of those boxes. You can help by going to the website on the bottom of your screen. You see that QR code. With us now is the president and CEO of Samaritan Purse and the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association, the man himself, Franklin Graham.
And you brought with us
welcome
sir,
to
one of these boxes. Tell us a
David's
little bit
World of
about it.
Ministries,
This
and
year, there are about 13 million of these boxes, and each box has got about 30 gifts in it.
and
So
today we're gonna be
this was done by my
on
granddaughter.
chapter 4.
And
This
this is a picture of me, my wife,
thing on this book
granddaughter.
I'm reading out of today,
So, you
and
know, we give these to children.
the topic of this story is yellow scrap of paper. Back on November 30th of 1987. So welcome, and we're going to wait to see if we get anybody come on today, and then we'll get started then. Let's sit here and talk about God and
the next generation, how important that not we live in a selfish world, but this is an
the new
opportunity for children
non-denominationals and
in return. So Operation Christmas Child
which church I preach at is a non-denominational,
this year's 13 million boxes just like
and
this.
in the church I preach at, we don't have instruments. We don't believe in having instruments in our church, and we sing Apollo. And just like when it says, make a joyful noise unto the Lord.
Wonderful to have you
That's
here
what it
with
says in
us.
the Bible to do, and that's what we do, is make a joyful noise unto the Lord. And
It's a great partnership. We thank you. Thank you so much.
We're getting so close to the official.
and I know I'm getting kind of grayish or iron, but
Performing
I reckon it's because I'm getting old.
Chris Tomlin.
But and I decided I want and do a live, and I got 90% charge on my phone, so it should last for a little bit. And I was sitting there playing my game earlier, and kept on pulling up on me. I said, well, maybe I do my live in a little while. Maybe that'll work. Maybe I'll stream a little bit on YouTube and see that'll work a little bit. It gets kind of boring in this hospital room. But today, one of my church members came and visited me today, and me and him went down to the first floor, down to the break room, and got us a drink and got me a little something to snack on. So, I mean, I ain't the end of the world, and tomorrow, more likely, my other church member, what's his name? Larry will be here tomorrow, hopefully. And, how you doing, Chase? How you doing, bud? And, so I'm just gonna put it out here, today that I'm not gonna tolerate nobody talking or disrespectful today. I ain't in the mood for it. And,
The All-American Christmas tree lighting is
if
brought to you
people
by
do talk
Palisoc,
disrespectful, I will block you.
and headaches.
And don't want to, but I will.
Did you know your brain has
So,
3 dimensions of memory?
I'm just gonna put it out there.
Short term and long term.
I ain't recall I had a rough day today. I just had
Unlike ordinary memory
This
supplements,
physical therapy been coming in working with me and all that stuff today.
to support three
So,
dimensions of memory. Take it from me.
but
An elephant never forgets. When you
there
need
won't
to
be no
remember,
physical therapy this weekend because they don't work on the weekend. So, but the topic of this story is called Yellow Scrap Paper. Yellow Scrap Paper. And this book that I wrote, it's a pretty good book and I enjoy it. And I enjoy writing it. And how you doing, bud? What's up? What's up? What's up? I just figured I'd come on and do a stream before I go to bed, and over here it's almost midnight over here.
Perfect holiday snack box isn't
And
one thing. It's everything. So customize your box.
which I got my blinds open in my room here, so but you can't see it because I got a picture of there of Jesus on there.
There's a gift for every
So
box. Celebrate your holiday.
but we're going to talk about this when we're on chapter 4. It's the title of the story on Yellow Scrap Paper. Yellow Scrap Paper is the name of this story. So we're gonna be reading and if I got enough juice on my phone to do this next chapter, we'll do the first duel. And that's back in December of 1987. And this is talking about my friends that Randall was one of my friends and Larry's one of my friends and Larry's one of my church members, and so I added him into the story, and it goes like this. Was I religious? Nah, no more religious than the next guy. Did I believe in God? Sure. Did I believe that Jesus Christ was God's son? Absolutely. But I was not brought up in what you would call a religious home. My parents simply did not go to church when I was little. I got started in church by a little elderly woman named Eula, who lived next door to us. Eula knocked on our door one day when I was about 5 years old and asked my mother if it would be alright for her to take me to church with her. Mom agreed, and from that point forward, I went with Eula every Sunday, being slowly trained up in Eula's faith, the Baptist faith. But in our church, in the church I preach in, we're a non-denominational church. And like the Baptist churches and Methodist churches and Catholic churches and Presbyterian churches, and like when a Methodist church baptizes you, drink of water on your head, and that they consider that as baptism, which it says in the Bible that you're supposed to be submerged underwater.
Yes, thank you so much everyone for the support. It's meant a lot to me. I don't want to cry because it'd be really bad for
And
my
most of my friends went to the same Baptist church as well. Attending church was like going to school, the grocery store with mom, basketball camp in the summer, or our small town Dairy Queen.
Or
The
Jessica.
Baptist
That's
church
basically
became
the
a
same
part of
thing.
life.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
We go both ways. Really?
Church was a
I
weekly
didn't know that,
event,
but
just
this
like
is magic. Okay. And this is beautiful Blake, Kaylee's daughter, is up here with me now. And for all of you at home, check out the new season of Fox Nation's hit.
church was a weekly event, just like our family vacation was. A summer event, however, was I religious? No. Ask me if I was a Christian, and I would say yeah. I would say sure. Hey, I would. However, I believe that due to my salvation experience at the wise old age of 8, I could live pretty much any way I wanted because I was saved. I did not really need to worry about it, and that's how most of the people I knew thought about it too. Which ain't right. 'Cause I learned years later that ain't right. The reality was that while I wore the name Christian, Christ could really be found in my everyday life. Getting saved was an event that everyone did, but it was not a lifestyle. I compared to it buying a fire insurance policy with a one-time premium. I paid the premium when I was 8, but it did not require me to live in the insurance office, so to speak. Now, my teenage years were wild. It was the 80s, and I had the hair, the clothes, the music, the selfish drive for money, personal ambition, and love of partying. I liked beer, experiment with marijuana, cursed like my friends, and lived like the rest of the world. My friends and I all wore the label of Christian, but there was little difference between my lifestyle and the world around me. It all seemed very normal at the time. After all, I had been saved, and once I was saved, I would always be saved. So it did not really matter what I did, and actually it does. Little change in my personal lifestyle. After getting married, I went to church once in a while. Did not kill anybody, did not rape anybody, never stole anything, did not do any serious drugs. I obeyed the law, worked hard, paid my taxes, took care of my wife, gave a little bit to charity during TV telethons, and even gave $1 to the homeless guy holding the cardboard sign around Music Row once in a while. For all intents and purposes, I was a good guy, right? That was enough. Besides, I just did not have much time for religion. Jonetta and I were building a life together, and we wanted the finer things that life had to offer. We wanted a big home with an Olympic-sized pool in a pretentious suburb, a 7 Series BMW, a Ranger Rover, a summer home in Colorado, a winter home in the Keys, residual income from investment accounts, fine clothes, vacations around the world, expensive jewelry, a yacht moored in the Carolinas, a housekeeper, a groundskeeper, an accountant, a stockbroker, an attorney on retainer, and of course an aggressive college account for our future brood. All the things that young and aspiring materialist desire. God's program simply did not fit very well into my program. OSI Data Solution was just the first small stepping stone. My ultimate goal was to become a software CEO in the Silicon Valley with a seven-figure salary and stock options. We arrived in Nashville after a much-needed Thanksgiving break. We were back in the city to chase the dream. A mixture of sleet and snow was falling that Monday morning when I stepped through the back door of OSI Data Solutions. Randall was not around the shipping area. I was relieved that he was not there because I was still a little uncomfortable over backing out of our Bible study the way I did. Oh well, you cannot unring a bell. I went back to my office, organized the day's agenda, and then followed the rest of the herd towards the company's outdated conference room on the second floor for a mandatory company meeting. Jackson Jack Stavik owned OSI Data Solutions, and he had some news to share with the organization. Jack was soft-spoken but formidable. When the room quiet, Jack announced that his son would be taking over as CEO. It was if he had announced that the company was shutting doors. Later, Jack's son had no experience in industry, nor had he earned the respect of the employees. Legner was young and arrogant and very full of himself. He had a 6,000 square foot home in Brentwood given to him by Daddy. He drove a 325 convertible BMW that always had his oversized touring bags, pink golf clubs in the back seat. Legger loved to flaunt what his daddy had earned while giving the pretense of his own importance and self-worth. The kid was a complete contrast to the modest, hard-working, get your hands dirty kind of guy that Jack was, and the OSI employees resented Digger deeply. At any rate, after the news of change filled our ears, everyone filled out the smoke-filled meeting room. Randall caught me midway down the wooden staircase that escalated into the paper warehouse. Hey, Shank, wait up, he said in his chipper voice. Hi, Randall, what's going on? I replied. I want to ask you something, Randall said as he sidled alongside. Do you have to be baptized to be saved? And I said, of course not. I said without any pause. Then he handed me a small torn piece of notebook paper. It was the corner piece from a yellow legal pad. A Bible verse was scribbled on the scrap, and the Bible verse was 1 Peter 3rd chapter 21st verse. And he said, check this out, man. I'll catch up with you later. Off he went. I was scheduled to go to Lawrenceburg that morning, 83 miles north of Nashville, 83 miles from Nashville. Our company had a MetaCard patient admission system at Crockett Hospital, and the system was down. Troubleshooting the hospital system had taken all morning. final diagnosis test was successful and the mission staff was back in business. It was the lunch hour and Lawrenceburg had a McDonald's. I opted for the drive-through, then escorted my Big Mac and fries over to David Crunker's State Park to eat in solitude. There was no ambulance, hospital noise, or nurse complaining in the background, just AM talk radio. There was a new guy on WLAC 1510 out of Nashville, Rush Limbaugh was his name, and from what I could tell, it was some kind of political talk show. He was an entertaining guy, no doubt, but WLAC's weak signal carried a lot of static that far out to Nashville. The yellow scrap of paper laid there in the console, 1 Peter 3rd chapter 21st verse. Best ice cream topping. I like chocolate and nuts. Chocolate and nuts, my favorite. What does that say? It would have to wait. I did not have a Bible in the car. Strange. No one had ever handed me a Bible verse. That was an odd thing to do, wasn't it? As I pulled into OSI's lot at 4:45 p.m., Larry was walking out to his car. He was already heading home for the day. Larry had just started carrying a Bible in his briefcase, but don't ask me why. Hey, Larry, I hollered across the lot through my roll down window. Larry turned and smiled when he saw that it was me. Hi, Mike. You go to Palisoc today? He asked. Lawrenceburg, I corrected. Oh, okay, mileage check is going up. Larry grinned. I laughed, so are gas prices. Gas was running $1.05 per gallon, ridiculous. How high were they going to get? So $1.05, man, I'd be glad to pay $1.05 for gas. Hey, grab your Bible, would you? I said to Larry, I got out to my car. He was over his red Pontiac Sunbird. Did everyone at OSI drive Pontiacs now? You doing that Bible study with Vando? Larry asked. Remember our pre-Thanksgiving conversation that Kurt had interrupted? No, I got out of that, but he did a handoff after the meeting this morning, and he gave me this. I showed him the yellow slip of paper with the verse on it. Larry took a look. I'm curious to know what it says. I said. Larry took his Bible out of his briefcase and opened it on the trunk of his car. He thumbed through the golden edge pages, having trouble navigating the colgate of names in the holy book. After finding the right book, Larry asked for the chapter and verse again. I repeated it and he found it. He handed the Bible over and I read the verse quietly to myself. The verse said, the like figure whereunto even baptism does also now save us, not the putting away of the filth of the flesh, but the answer of a good conscience towards God by the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Larry, look at this. I said, handing his Bible back to him while pointing at verse 21. with my index finger. Have you ever seen this verse? He read it quietly to himself. No, I guess I haven't. But it's faith that saves us, isn't it? Well, yeah, of course. Baptism is some kind of work. Hey, I'm going to ask my pastor about this verse, and I'll get back to you. Thanks, Larry. See you later, Mike. I walked towards the office as Larry drove away, wondering about the verse and why Vandal had done the handoff thing that morning, but everyone in S&R was already gone for the day. This verse requires religious expert. So I reckon tomorrow sometime we'll get to this chapter 5, the first duel. First duel. And so yeah, so I appreciate Jason and Macklin and you, your favorite, for joining in today, and y'all have a blessed day. And remember, Jesus loves you, and just remember, keep your minds and eyes focused on Jesus Christ, because He's on the way to heaven, and once you get to heaven, He'll pull you up, and you'll be in His holy kingdom forever and ever, and that's a glorious thing. And y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. I'll talk to y'all next time.